I'm Autumn. Behind me you have Poker. We're going to do a video on grooming. These are all of my grooming supplies, all my brushes. Typically, you start with a curry comb and you do it in a circular motion, and this will kind of loosen up any debris, loose dirt, things like that. Next, you would go with a hard brush, and it's called a hard brush because the bristles are a lot rougher than some other brushes, and you go along the coat, and that gets all of the big dirt particles off. And then you go in with a softer brush, and it's kind of like fine tunes, I guess, what the previous brushes did to get the smaller dust particles off. And then I also have a couple other various brushes. These ones are a lot softer. You can use it on their face, on their legs. Curry comb, you don't want to use on their legs. In the springtime, when it's like shedding season, I have a couple of like these shedding tools too, and I just run these along their coat. I would do this first. I'm not doing these today because it's winter time, and so he's not shedding at all. And then I also have a hoof pick, and you use this to pick out all of any dirt or little rocks or pebbles that are in their hooves. And I also have a comb to brush out his mane and tail. Alright, so like I said, first curry comb. Good idea to let the horse check it out before you do anything to him. It's on the toy. You can do a circular motion. This just gets everything loosened up. Along the back, you can go all the way down. I don't usually like to go past like this point. I don't like to use the curry comb on the legs. It's just a little more abrasive, and their legs are very bony. They don't have a lot of protection on them in terms of that. Chest. You can get under their belly if they will allow it. However, under here is more sensitive, so you might want to be more gentle. Always pay attention to the horse. It's a good idea to keep a hand on them when you're grooming. That way you can feel them and get a better sense of how they're feeling, what they're doing. While you're grooming, hey buddy. While you're grooming, you can also be checking for any new abrasions or cuts or scrapes. When you're grooming them, you can check out for twitching too. He seems fine, but if they were to twitch, that would indicate that that spot is a little more sensitive. So it would be a good idea to be aware of that. To go behind the horse, you want to always keep a hand on them to go around. If you want to go around the front, don't duck under their neck or chin. This is a blind spot, so they can't see you, and also they can toss their head around. You can get hurt. It's better to just completely go. Next is the hard brush, and this one, like I said before, you go along. Let's get your mane out of here. You go along. It's not yours. No. Wait. Go the same way as the direction the hair is laying. The hard brush, you can typically go down their legs. This will help get any of the bigger bits of dust and mud off. Next is soft brush. I just have two different ones. They all came in a set, so this one is a little bit longer bristle, and this one is really soft in the middle with a little bit coarser bristles outside. I kind of just use them both in the soft brush step. You can also use the hard brush right here on their cheeks. I typically, as long as they're not super dirty, I typically just like to use the soft brush there. And then just like the hard brush, the soft brush just goes the same direction as the hair lays, and you can use it all over the body as they allow. You can unclip to get like here. And then I have a face brush for the more sensitive areas, like around the nostrils, around the eyes, around the ears. This is my little face brush. It's super soft, and it's also much smaller. And this is the one that I will use over the more sensitive parts of his face. He actually really enjoys this part as much as he does not always like to be groomed. And he absolutely hates his ears to be touched. Nice, thank you for that present. Now I'm going to do the hoof pick. Some people like to use this as the first step. I generally do it after I'm done with the body. As long as it gets done, I don't think it really matters when you do it. It's important to do it though. So you stand to the side of them, you bring your hand all the way down, applying some gentle pressure. They should pick their foot up for you. You're okay, buddy. Poker here, he's prone to abscesses, so his front feet tend to be a little more sensitive to them. Thank you. You take the pick part and you go, he has pads on, so you can't see his frog. But with pads and shoes, you just go around the shoe part, and you want to scrape all that out, and then you can take the bristles to get any loose debris out. And then for the back feet, you let them relax, don't force it, and when they loosen up, this is the frog. You don't use the sharp part on the frog. So around the shoe, easy. You can use the bristle part on the frog here in the middle. You just scrape along the frog and along the shoe if they have them. Easy. Good boy. Until you get to their sole. His are pretty packed. Easy, buddy. Easy. Good boy. Almost done, buddy. And you can use the bristles to get all the loose stuff. And then the last part of the grooming is mane and tail. It's good to go over it. You don't want them to. You don't want it to be super tangly. You can use a detangling spray if you want to. You can use a hairbrush, wet brush. I have a little comb that I use. Okay, buddy. If there is, okay, back up, back up. If it is tangly, you want to start at the bottom and work your way up. If you start at the top and go down, you will rip a bunch of hair out. You can start from here and go back, or you can start down here by the withers and go up. Sometimes, at least with him, it's easier to start down by the withers because the hair is not as thick, and just slowly work your way up to the pole. For the tail, you don't want to stand directly behind the horse, so stand to the side. You can reach over, grab it, and pull it to you. Again, you want to start from the bottom, not up here. If you start up here and go down, you will rip a bunch of hair out. So, start at the bottom. as you go, you can kind of let some fall and do it in sections, especially if your horse has a super thick tail.